Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the folks at Sideshow Collectibles, we're going to be taking a look at their 1/6 scale Marvel Punisher. The one and only Frank Castle himself coming to us in 1/6 scale form. Now there are two different versions of this. The one that I'm going to be taking a look at today is the Sideshow exclusive version. And we'll get to what that means here in just a little bit. For the package though, on the front you have a really cool artistic image of Frank, all dressed up in his Punisher garb and looking really fierce. I love that expression. A couple of the really cool elements that I like is you have a very nice glossy image of the Punisher logo there on the bottom. You also have that on the top. It's a little bit hard to see, but it does stand out very nicely, to be honest. It's subtle, but it's really very cool looking. I dig that. On the back of the package, you have a little bit more expanded of an image of that front picture, showing off more of his actual body, and then you have various contact information for Sideshow there at the bottom. And then when you lift up the shoebox style package, the inside has an insert with a very cool looking graffiti sorta-ish image of that very iconic Punisher logo. I absolutely love the sort of painted image of the skull on top of a red background, almost simulating blood. I think that looks terrific. And then it's already sliding down, but when you bring it down, on the inside, you have a lot of foam that protects the figure. And then underneath all that, you have a clamshell with all of his accessories. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Sideshow Collectibles Punisher opened up and out of his packaging. And Sideshow really has done a very nice job of taking a very classic character such as the Punisher, and while maintaining a lot of its comic elements, give it a very real world sort of look. Now, no Punisher figure would be complete without a ton of different weapons and accessories. And in that department, Sideshow absolutely did not disappoint. Coming down to take a closer look at him, in addition to the two kind of straight hands that are currently on him, he comes with a total of 8 other hands. All of them are kind of different in terms of, their actual kind of sculpt. Like, for example, this one here is kind of a clutching hand. You could probably use it with a grenade or something else. But great detail on these. Coming in to take a closer look at it, you can see a lot of nice padding detail throughout there. You got some nice paint variation with the knuckles and the back section of the hand itself. You come around to the inside, good detail on the inside as well. You can see that slight paint variation kind of goes throughout here. Again, one thing that I absolutely love is that all the hands come with their own actual wrist peg, which is terrific. I think that's great. Now, in addition to that, though, they also do give you some additional ones in case, obviously, anything happens to the ones that are on there. You also get a left hand that is, again, in this kind of clutching sort of look. You do get a left fist. You also do get a right fist, but this one's a little bit different. Now, one thing that's actually kind of interesting, and I love this. This is a little touch that I never really would have expected, but you come in to take a look. One thing that I love is that this has his little middle finger kind of exposed, as if when he's punching, he's leading with that. And you can see a slight paint difference right there, almost as if it's like blood or something like that. I absolutely love that. None of the other hands had that except for this one, so it's clearly intentional. Great use of some creativity in expressing the personality of the Punisher. You also do get a left hand, again, that's in this kind of holding position where you could probably have him hold one of his daggers. So you just wedge that in there just like that. So you got a lot of these hands that can do that kind of stuff. You have a right hand, obviously, again, in a kind of gun holding position. You can see that his index finger is exposed a little bit. Another hand with that. So you can create a lot of different kind of looks with his guns and holding them in different kind of positions. Again, you get that right fist, and then you get another one that does work really well for, again, maybe holding a dagger on an angle or something like that. So a lot of creativity with the hands. I love that. You also do get this really heavy-duty gun. Again, I have no idea what they're called. It's got its strap so that you can put it over a shoulder if you want. You can remove the little section here. You can see very nice paint detail with the bullet on the inside. You just clip that right up there. I love the unique look of this as well. I mean, he's going to hold it where it's kind of wrapped around his thumb like that. I know that maybe that's not a very good hand for it. Oh, let's see. See, you can manipulate all this kind of stuff and get all this in here. And yeah, there we go. Get that kind of up in there, and so you can do something like that. You know, Frank is obviously very meticulous in taking care of his weapons, but you can see that you have a nice amount of wear that's throughout it. He also does come with 2 daggers. Where you want to put these is kind of up to you. You got a little hook section right here. You can probably just sit that right there if you want to. This one is more on a angle, so you're going to put it like this. I think that the actual images on Sideshow's website have you kind of putting it here on his back belt sort of thing. So personal preference in terms of what kind of design and look you want to do. I like how these are actually made out of metal though. Real nice detail, and there's some heft to it, which is nice. But very simple. You got a very clean look with some nice silver paint. You got the black handle right there, and same with the other one. It's a little bit different of a look. It's a little bit more serrated, but you can see real nice paint variation coming in a kind of variation if it'll stay focused. You can see that kind of towards the bottom, almost like a little scorch mark, but you got that nice handle as well. So great detail on those. As I mentioned, you do get several, and get that, if are you gonna go in there? Go in the little thing there. Yeah, no, maybe, oh, upside down, Paul. You do get 4 different grenades. Well, they're all the same, but you do get 4 grenades. You got a nice metal pin right in there. You can kind of, because you got the little handle section right here, you can kind of put these anywhere you really want on them, and if that was something that you wanted to do. So you do get a total of 4 of those, and then you also do get this kind of, it's kind of like a bulletproof vest. I would say you got a really nice image of the Punisher logo there in the front. You also got a little clips right here that obviously you can take this and you can maybe slide this right in there. Yeah, you can do that if you wanted to, so you can have more storage options and things of that nature. It's just attached via some Velcro, so you would just kind of put this over them and wrap this around, and you do have to kind of futz with it to kind of get everything around his waist area through the outer section right here. It's not too difficult. I personally don't care too much for this. I love the inclusion of it. I love that they're throwing extra accessories in here, and you got a lot of padding kind of going throughout that entire thing. I just like the very clean look on him though. I imagine, you know, Frank wearing like a bulletproof vest underneath his actual suit, or outfit I should say, not necessarily on the outside. So while I love the inclusion of this, it's probably not something that I would ever really use to display him with, but it's an option for you guys. Now, as I mentioned, this is the Sideshow exclusive version, which includes this little submachine gun. Coming in to take a closer look, again, you can see some nice wear throughout the entire thing. This little section right here, I don't know what it's actually meant to do, but it does flex up and down. And then you do get a little magazine sort of thing that you can plug up under there. Again, I love the design of the handle on it. You know, it's different than a regular kind of handle. I think that's really cool looking. But you got a little silencer on there. Again, real nice paint detail with the little silver wash throughout it. So if you get this directly through Sideshow, this is the exclusive piece that you're going to get with it. And why not have another gun with him? I mean, again, it's the Punisher. You do get his display stand. Very simple. You got the little Marvel thing here in the back. Then you have the adjustable cradle with the little section right up here that allows you to adjust the height. Now, that's all the extra accessories that are in a clamshell. He comes with a ton that are actually on his body. So coming in to take a closer look at that, lifting his arms up out of the way, you can see he's got guns underneath his arms. He's got guns here on his hips. I mean, he's loaded with weapons. You got these little pouches right here. These little clips right here can very nicely go in the different handguns and things like that. So obviously he's going to have a lot of ammunition. You got a total of 2 on this side. You can see you got these little magnetic flaps that come down and just close over there, which is a nice little touch. You have 2 on this opposite side as well. You come around here to the back section, and you got these larger ones that are designed for his big, huge gun. You just come around here to the back, lift that up, and you can see it's the same basic thing. You got the nice paint detail with the bullet there on the inside. So putting that right back in there, make sure you push that all the way down, and then you can bring this over and magnetically latch that. Then he does come with these guns on the side here. These lift up, and huge gun. Well, that thing was not supposed to come off. So set this right here. You can see that obviously that whole section slides out, but that is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that's a huge, massive handgun. And again, unique design with it. It doesn't go all the way around. I mean, obviously, you know, the Punisher is going to have a lot of customization with his guns so that it works perfectly for him. And I think that that looks absolutely terrific. So putting that back down in the little holster, come on, get in there, there we go. And then again, you got the little section here, comes around just like so. Then you have the ones that are underneath his arm. Again, great unique look to it, kind of like a handgun with the little revolver section here in the middle, but a unique kind of look. You got this little section that comes out. Overall, terrific overall detail on this. You got a nice paint detail on there as well with the little silver wash. Very, very crisp and cool looking. Again, you put that right back underneath there, and you do have to make sure that you futz with some of this stuff to keep it all looking pretty good. You got those guns on the opposite side as well. It's just necessary to have all these weapons with him, and I think that they turned out great. I love the unique look of them. So accessory wise, they nailed it with this. Everything that you would possibly want, it really does come with. You got grenades, you got guns, you got extra ammo clips. This guy is loaded. Now coming in to take a closer look at the figure, we already did get a pretty good idea of how the rest of the body looks, but taking a look at the portrait, I actually really like the way that this looks. Again, taking a comic book character and giving him a real life look, I think they did a great job. I mean, you can see a lot of great detail with the lines and the wrinkles kind of throughout the entire face, giving a real intense look to Frank Castle. I really do dig that. You can see hair-wise, you have this kind of slicked back sort of look, which does nicely fit the character, but overall just real great, very dangerous look. I mean, I even love how, like, on the side here, you can see, like, veins. There's an intensity in this face that really does look good. And then taking a look at the rest of the body, again, you got that very nice, Punisher logo on his shirt. Great detail with the belt, all the different pouches and things of that nature. You can see that his actual shirt is a bit of a sweater kind of look with this nice, kind of almost corduroy sort of looking texture. I think that turned out really very good. You come around, again, you got more belts and things like that. Again, the pants come down, you got some nice pockets and everything. You got some of that corduroy sort of look. Great detail with the gloves. I love the very classic element of the black suit with the white gloves and things. And then you come down and you take a look at his boots, and real great detail on his boots with the the laces. You got some padding and everything, a lot of dirt and grime. Good variation with the colors and such. Very heavy duty looking boots on there. So overall, really very nice detail throughout the entire thing. As I said, you do have to futz a little bit with some of the pouches and the belts and stuff to really get them looking good, but collectors love doing that, creating their own personal look for the characters, and this definitely gives you those options. Now, first articulation, the head here on the top section is on a ball joint, so you can get that looking left and right. It also kind of moves up and down, and then you got a lower neck section that does move forward and back a little bit. Now, the shoulders move in and out very nicely. There is a bit of an armpit joint, can rotate fairly easily, and the material doesn't really restrict anything, although in moving things around, you will probably knock some of the bits and pieces around. So just be careful when you're doing it. He does have two joints here at the elbow. He rotates at the wrist, and it also can move forward and back. For the upper body, there doesn't... I'm trying to see, there's a little bit of a padding underneath there. I'm trying to see, he does rotate side to side, and then he does have a ball joint forward and back. I don't necessarily know if there's an ab crunch underneath there, but the hips move forward and back very nicely. The material is fairly loose, so you get a good range of motion with it. He does rotate at the upper part of the thigh. He's got two joints, I think two joints, or is it just one? No, there's two. There's one, and then two joints here at the actual knee, 90-degree range of motion, which is perfectly fine, I think. And then the ankles do just rotate. The boot is all one piece, so you don't get any forward and back or in and out motion. That's one thing that I would have maybe have liked to have seen, if you could have two separate sections for the boot so that you get a wider stance. As it is, you're going to have the feet kind of going up on an angle, which isn't bad, but if you want to create some really cool dynamic poses, you need to have some ankle pivot in there. Starting to sound like certain other reviewers that really like ankle pivot, but for what it is, I think that the figure really does look great and has a lot of just character just thrown into him. Now, with the renewed popularity of the Punisher character thanks to the Daredevil and upcoming Punisher series on Netflix, this guy is a lot of fun to have. The character Punisher has always been a sleeper favorite of mine, in that he's kind of like an anti-hero. He's not above breaking the rules to serve a greater good. And it's a very interesting, dynamic, and fun story to tell. To recreate the Punisher character, Sideshow really did need to nail certain aspects. Obviously, number one would be the outfit, and I think they really did a great job here. The contrast between the white and the black really does stand out, and very much it nails that look and feel. And then, of course, the other thing is an arsenal. Frank Castle is known for having a slew of weapons, and I'm very happy to see that Sideshow did not skimp out on any of them. If you include the exclusive version, you get a total of 6 weapons, in addition to the grenades that he has, all the extra ammunition, as well as all the extra hands that really do let you get a very cool look for him. Everything about this figure turned out great. And as I said in the very beginning of this video, they really did take a very classic comic book character and do a very good job of giving him a real world look. This is a terrific piece, and if you're a Marvel fan, the Punisher here from Sideshow will look great in your display. So if this is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he is available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of their wide range of 1/6 scale Marvel figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please smash that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you never miss out on a future review of mine. Or if you're already subscribed, be sure to click on that little bell right below this video, and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, be excellent to each other.